What ho, everybody? How the devil? Oh, hang on, that's weird. There we go, that's better. How's it going? Super Bowl weekend here in the United States. So I've got a few things to talk about that aren't really related to the BBC, but you don't care because you come here for long rambling tirades about shit that's not related to news anyway, don't you? Everybody knows that. You're all veterans by now. Yeah, no new boys in the chat that it looks like. Obviously, because Susan's not showing anybody the fucking shit that I talk. That's why. Well, I'll show her. They'll have to drag me off this fucking platform. Susan. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. Go have a look at Twitch. Because one of these days, I will be dragged off. One of these days, she's going to send a fucking sniper around my house. So, you better check it out. Where are we? There it is. There's the link in the chat. Yeah, have that. Have that. You can have that for now. You know what? One thing I want to say about the Super Bowl before I start on about this, let me just blow that up so you can see it. So this is off Reddit. I do have a Reddit as well, but I never go on there because I'm shockingly. Well, I say I'm shockingly bad at admin. When you have another job and you don't do this for a living, and there's fucking 20 different platforms. I think you can be forgiven for not administering it correctly. But yeah, there's the chat. There's my Reddit as well. I've got an Angry Bootneck Reddit, subreddit, whatever it's called. Yeah, if I remember, I'll start doing shit on there. Where the fuck? See that story I was just looking at disappeared now. Damn you. Flight map. Let me have a look. I'll try and find it. Super Bowl flight map. Reddit. That'll do. There it is. Right. This is the bastard I wanted to show you. Flight map showing over 140 private jets that left LA after Super Bowl within the first 5 hours after the game. Bless me. I don't sneeze very often. It must be the air. The pleasant California air is getting to me. Oh yeah, nice hairline. Yeah, cheers. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm aware it's a bit like smoke now. Yeah, it's getting a bit patchy. Although, as I've told you, fuckers, I know that misery loves company. So a lot of you in the chat just keep telling me, shave your hair off, mate, shave your hair off, because you're a baldy bastard and you want a bit of company on the journey. But Mrs. Taylor's assured me that when the time comes, when my aging hairline becomes fucking, I've got a 5 head and it really needs to just go the way of Bruce Willis, she'll tell me. So I'm taking advice from a woman rather than a baldy bastard who simply wants one more baldy to join them in the world. Isn't it strange how humans are like that? It's a weird thing, isn't it? Schadenfreude. And that's sort of, it's why addicts have to get away from other addicts, isn't it? Because for some reason, misery does love company. Blokes in a bad situation want to drag everybody down with them. They're like, it'll make them feel better. And it's a strange fucking phenomenon. You'd think you'd want the best for your friends. But yeah, strange. As for it pointing at the fucking zit, I've had a proper V-head since I was a kid. When I was a bairn, my dad used to call me Eddie Munster because I look like fucking Dracula. You know what I mean? I never needed to do anything to my hair if I wanted to go to a party as Dracula. So that's not that different. I've always had a V-head. 50p he's got corners. Fuck off. I've got quite a good shaved head when I have a skinhead. Not like fucking half the borough strikers who clearly have got an head like a 50 pence piece. Right, let's talk about this job. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what I will say on about my missus. Look at my Valentine's card I want to show you. I was quite impressed with it. It says, "You're a twat, but you're my twat." Isn't that romantic? Thought that was quite good. Clearly, you know, she's only spent a few years in the UK, Mrs. Taylor, but she obviously embraced our, if you like someone, you have to be a cunt to them worldview, right? That's the way we do it. Does get you in trouble sometimes over in the States. Like I said, you know, when you've known someone a week or two over here, and they come into work and they're like, "What do you think of my shirt?" And I'm like, "Fucking hell, you look like a sex offender." And who cut your hair? Fucking Stevie Wonder. The sort of think it's a bit sometimes taken the wrong way. Like, why doesn't Matt like me? And yeah, not the way it works. So this fucking story. Let's talk about the story. If you didn't know, if you live under a fucking rock and you didn't know, it was the Super Bowl yesterday here in the United States. The Rams won. And here's a flight map showing that there were over 140 private jets left LA after the Super Bowl within the first 5 hours. And you know why I wanted to bring that up? Look where they all went. Most of them in New York. These fucking people, or a lot of them went up to, it looks like a lot of them went up to Washington State, Oregon as well. Oregon, fucking loads of lefty cunts up there. It annoys me because it's just more of the same. Like, I really get annoyed at the unending hypocrisy of the far left. Like, you know for a fact that almost everybody on these private jets, because all the rich and famous wankers who went to the Super Bowl, espouses far left politics about climate change. And as I've pointed out many times, normal people like us get on. If you fly coach, you're crammed on in a tube with another 300 people. So your carbon footprint as a result of that plane being in the sky is minuscule. They play with the numbers to make it sound worse. They're like, "Oh my God, look at that. You've just sent 11,000 tons of carbon into the atmosphere." It's like, no, I'm a scruffy working class oik, and they stuffed me in a tube with hundreds of people. So yeah, it used a few thousand gallons of petroleum to get us up there. But there's fucking hundreds of us in there. If you send a fucking private jet up in the sky and it's got about 8 people on it, your carbon footprint is absolutely massive. It's not just like 10 times larger than mine. It's hundreds. And you do it fucking weekly. And we do it twice a year, taking the kids to Spain. Like, it really pisses me off. Like, again, just do the numbers. Remember when some lefty twat was in the comments going, "Oh, yeah, gobbing off about climate change." And I was like, I've crunched the numbers. I've made about 6 videos about it where I've crunched the numbers. Sat and went through them slow time. For those of you that care to fucking listen, go back and look. Like, it's ridiculous. Everything causes pollution, carbon to go into the atmosphere. But being alive causes carbon, right? Just being alive. The idea that we've got to stop people going on holiday twice a year when they fly coach is fucking offensive to anybody who's got 2 brain cells to rub together and is well aware that, as usual, the elites are going to do as they fucking please while we do all the legwork. It seriously pisses me off. Again, I don't like the term offensive because, like, I don't get offended in the way that shrieking wokists do and say, "I'm offended, therefore you're not allowed to have an opinion." I get angry, offended, i.e., I hate you. I hate everything you say. I hate everything you stand for, and I refuse to do as you tell me. The fucking scumbags. They want you to be not allowed to fly anywhere. You can't take the kids on holiday. You can't drive anywhere. And you have to eat cockroach paste for your dinner, right? But you know for a fact the people who have got a carbon footprint, someone like, I mean, he's a good example, someone like John Kerry. John Kerry's job is apparently to talk about the climate change problem, right? His carbon footprint is literally tens of thousands of times larger than yours. Tens of thousands, like 10,000 plumbers all put together, and the carbon they emit in a year, they create less carbon than John Kerry on his fucking own. but you're not going to be allowed to go on holiday and you're not allowed to eat burgers. But he is. That's how this is going to go. So we have to rage against it, rail against it with every fibre of your being. These fucking people are detestable. They want to tell you what you're allowed to do and they'll do it. Like I said, it's mad because being someone that naturally leans left and has always considered himself to be a liberal person, because I don't care what you get up to. Just get up to whatever you want. I don't care. All the stuff that used to make someone a left wing, that's what I am, naturally. It's like, I don't want to interfere in your life. But you're forcing me to be right wing and talk about right wing talking points because you're deeply illiberal. The people that call themselves liberal nowadays are not liberal. They're extremely illiberal, and they're trying to force you to bend to their will using, and the worst of it is, like I said, the oily means with which they do it. Because these people aren't your equal. They're certainly not fucking my equal, and they're not yours. You're a normal person who gets up and pulls the socks on and goes to do a job where you produce or create or assist someone in some way. You're 10 times the man these people are. Like I said, even jobs that you would think are like quite menial. Like when I first left the military, I was driving a recycling truck. It's like every day I was getting 6 tons of shit and getting the shit somewhere else where it was to be recycled. Now, turns out probably just sending it to fucking China and they were throwing it in the ocean. However, the point remains, I was getting up on the morning nice and early and putting in some sweat to do something useful to society. Even if it ended up in the fucking ocean, at least it ended up in the sea in Beijing. It didn't end up in the sea in Leeds. We are the ones who do everything that matters. We make everything. We do all the work. And pencil pushers. You've been pushing too many pencils. You know, remember what's funny about that line on Predator? When Arnie goes, yeah, you look like you've been pushing too many pencils. And they're like slap hands. They're both built like a brick shithouse and they've got biceps like sacks of smashed gravel. It's like, I don't think it's a good insult to call someone looks like you've been pushing too many pencils when he looks like you could fucking twist your head off in about half a second. Not much of an insult, would it? It'd be better if he said that to like Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park. But yeah, these pencil pushers do nothing. John Kerry hasn't done anything in his life. Joe Biden. The only reason we give value to politicians is because they set the value. They create the medals. They create, like I've said, they create all these systems. They're the ones who go, you know, the most important people are in society, politicians. So everyone goes, oh, okay, then you're just setting the rules. They don't do anything useful. David Sykes talked about it. Whenever we've had a period of time where like there's been some, not a prorogation, but whenever you've had political intrigue, that's resulted in there being no politician available, like fucking Belgium when they haven't had like a government for years, or Sheffield Hallam when that little twat ginger fucker wasn't, and they basically didn't have an MP for over a year. And he was like, do you notice how China was not, China, I'm looking at the comments. Did you notice how Sheffield was perfectly fine? All of the administrative tasks were done by our forebears. This is why people like me now say, you know, you have to be a conservative, you have to keep what you've got. Because they did a lot of work back in the day. But for the last fucking few decades, I mean, the real work ended after the sort of 60s, post-World War II. They don't do anything. They don't do any work. They don't do anything useful. All John Kerry does, Joe Biden, is leech off their betters and fuck things up. The world's still not on fire in spite of these people. So when these fucking scumbags talk to you about climate change, just laugh in the face. I don't care what you have to say about climate change. I'm not interested in your opinions. Some multi-millionaire, politician, actor, singer. I have less interest in your opinions than I have in watching my granddad get gang raped by the pirates of the Caribbean. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. It's the only fucking industry, these cunts who have a high opinion of themselves because they're always gobbing off and patting each other on the back. It's the only sort of jobs, millionaire elites, basically. I mean, that's a wide umbrella, but that's what they are. Where because everybody constantly praises them and sucks them off constantly, they think it goes to their heads and they think everybody wants to hear what they have to say. And no other job does that. Think about it. If you know a bloke who's like a really good mechanic or a really good plumber or a really good bricklayer, and you hire him, oh, mate, my van's fucked. Will you come and fix it for me? He doesn't fix your van with his talent and then afterwards go, I'll tell you fucking what though. Let's discuss the intricacies of the climate catastrophe. You go, you mate, you fix the van. There's your money. Fucking do one. You know what I mean? Plumber. Yeah, you sort my sister out, mate. It's a bit fucked. I can't get out round the U-bend. There you go, sorted. By the way, have you thought about giving up the children? You shouldn't have children, you know, good for the climate. You'd say, here, plum cunt. Grab your tools and get the fuck out of my house. I have no interest in a single thing these people have. I mean, I'm old and cranky now, so I'm not even interested in them singing. I mean, literally everything I listen to now is sort of pre-noise. I don't buy anything new. I don't listen to anything new. I don't care about anything new. 99% of all the new entertainment. I'm an old cunt, so I'm happy to I could literally freeze time now, just download a few terabytes of everything that I've been into for the last, you know, pre-2015. And I would never need to be entertained ever again. I don't have any interest in these people. I don't go to see live concerts. I'm not fucking interested. If Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem were performing in my back garden, I'd draw the curtains. That is how fucking interested I am. Even bands I like the Rolling Stones, I don't give a fuck. If you gave me a free ticket and you drove me there in a limo and I had my own toilet, maybe I'd go to see the Rolling Stones. But most of them, if they're in my back garden, I'd draw the fucking curtains. I'm not interested. So why do these fucking people think that we're interested in what they have to say? I do not care. I don't fucking care. And another thing I rant about, let's get off the fucking, let's get off the private jet flights. You've seen it. It's fucking absolutely shocking. These people are scum. They have no right to lecture you about anything at all. Another thing that I wanted to bring up while I'm ranting about the fucking Super Bowl, and it's got nothing to do with news, but who cares, was these, right? These are the best ads from the Super Bowl. I'll tell you what. You can see why we're in the fucking shit. Because the Super Bowl ads, right? The people, I was in a boozer, because, you know, crowded as well. When the ads came on, the people were more interested in the adverts than the game. And every single advert was fucking childish. I don't know what it is. Again, I know I sound like a miserable bastard. Why wasn't Mini-Me on the ad? Well, I think we know why, don't we? You do know why, don't you, Blue Van Man? You winded me up. Unless they dig that cunt up and get a necromancer involved, he's not appearing in any adverts anytime soon. The adverts were ridiculously childish. They were unfunny. And I don't want to practice false humility, but seriously, I think I'd rather sit and watch me talking shit, and I'm me. I'd rather watch one of my back fucking videos that I talk through. Like, so it's not even new or interesting because I said it, but it's more entertaining than these amazing Super Bowl adverts, because it's dead strange. But I feel as if we've infantilized the entire world. Like, every advert was aimed at children. It's fucking dead strange. I've remarked about this a few times in the past to my wife, because in the 80s, you know, like car adverts, you sometimes had quite funny adverts, but they weren't infantile. Now, you see like a car advert for an expensive car as well, like a new Toyota fucking Land Cruiser or something. And the advert really does seem to be directed at like a 13-year-old. Like, it shows a woman driving a car. It's always a woman. And she's always got a black husband, obviously. And then she's driving, and then she goes, and someone else has got a car, and they like see each other. I'm just totally riffing here, but any American will know exactly what I'm talking about. And then they see each other and like, and then the person in the car like revs and they go, yeah. And then she drives at them, and then she does a backflip out of the sunroof, and then she lands on the thing. She pulls a lightsaber out and she goes, yeah, and like chops the car in half. And then she goes, and flicks her hair. And then the black husband goes, wow, you're amazing. And then they walk off into the sun. And then it'll be like, get the new Toyota Star Wars car. Yoda would love it. And it shows Yoda doing some backflips around the Toyota, like CGI. And then it finishes. And I'm sort of sitting there going, the only people who want to buy a brand new 45 grand car are like grown-ups. So why are the adverts aimed at like 12-year-olds? You know what I mean? I'm not having a pop at kids. I was daft when I was 17. You know, we're all daft when we're kids. But I don't understand why the adverts are like aimed at little kids. They're all like CGI and Star Wars and comics. And there was loads of theme park adverts on as well. And I was just sitting there going, it's dead strange. Like they've infantilized an entire generation. Even the 20 and the 30-somethings now are sitting there on the phones going, oh, look at that. The new car advert had a CGI Yoda on it. I'm definitely going to buy that. You see like fucking 40-year-old women in Walmart out here buying like baby Yoda toy, and you know it's for her. I just think it's dead strange. Oh yeah, the Lord of the Rings ad. Fuck it hell. How bad's the Lord of the Rings? The mad thing about the Lord of the Rings ones, right, is because they've pissed all over the canon, and obviously Tolkien wanted to make like an English fantasy, and at the time England was just white, despite the historical fiction that people think. Again, I've talked about it. I've done the census data from 1990. Census in 1991, the UK was 96% white. 1991, and the BBC want you to believe that fucking William Wallace looked like Kunta Kinte, and fucking the Roman Britons all looked like fucking Idris Elba. Yeah, it's fucking lunacy. It's lunacy, but because they've done this in Lord of the Rings now, and half of them seem to be apparently Lord of the Rings are half black now. It's obviously a prequel to Lord of the Rings series, so it implies that at some point in the near future, in the not canonically Tolkien, by the way, there's a massive wave of ethnic cleansing, specifically amongst the elves, because now there's loads of black elves. And I was like, the elves are supposed to be sensible, peace-loving, you know, wise people. Why did they brutally murder all of their kin for having a tan? Like, you know, the elves are supposed to be better than us base humans. Man is a fickle creature because he's short-lived. The elves are wise and sage and better than us. They're immortal. The elves are just, everyone loves the elves. Well, when did the elves have a fucking genocide? Like, so it seems to be the only thing you can take away from it is at some point between the events of this series and the events of Lord of the Rings, the wise, beneficent elves decide that those black elves, they don't like those motherfuckers, so they have to murder them all. You can imagine the dwarves being like, aye, the elves, the canny lads, the elves, you know. What's going on over there? They've got one of them magic ropes that could unties itself when you tug it. Get the magic rope out, what? And there's loads of black elves stood there. Clicks his fingers, the fucking magic rope, noose around the neck, up the fucking tree. There we go. That's where the elves invented the fucking magic ropes. There you go. Frodo and fucking Sam, they dropped that fucking rope like it was a snake if they knew why they'd invented it. Remember? Frodo's like, wow, the elvish rope's so good, it even knew when to untie itself. Yeah, because you know why they enchanted ropes, you cunt? Because they had some ethnic cleansing to do in Lothlorien. I mean, you can't fucking. They don't think of the big picture when they make these. Just when on a whim, just fuck up canon. It's offensive to people that have any common sense at all. Female dwarves without beards, yeah, ridiculous. Female dwarves without beards who look like fucking Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, loads of them in the fucking in Helm's Deep. Oh no, Helm's Deep, that's Rohan. I know my Lord of the Rings canon. The Mines of Moira. Yeah, it's mad. So total bollocks. I'm not going to watch any of it. As usual, what I'll do is, if I can get hold of a copy that involves me not subscribing to anything, paying for anything, or helping any of them out, I might watch the first one out of morbid curiosity. But I know they'll be terrible anyway, so it doesn't matter, does it? I don't have to. Right. I've just ranted for 25 minutes then. I have to do at least one story before I fuck off, don't I? What we talking about? Does anyone care about Ukraine anymore? I mean, look at the fucking homepage of the BBC. Let's just, out of morbid curiosity, I'll tell you what, we'll just do it on the cuff, see what takes my interest. Does anybody care about the Ukrainian invasion? I just don't care. I'm aware that this is the worst element of centrists. Well, everybody who's not woke. There's no need to keep calling people centrist or centre left or centre right or very far right or right wing or conservative. Basically, everybody who isn't woke is on the same side now, because it's obvious that they're mentally ill and they will have you in a fucking gulag breaking rocks. Like, did anybody see that? I seen going around on Reddit a list of Joe Rogan's right-wing bias. Did anybody see that? It was a list and it had left-wing people and right-wing people. Everything's backwards in the fucking camera, isn't it? It had left-wing people and right-wing people that Joe Rogan's interviewed. And the list was unbelievable. Yeah, polemic. Well, they can't help but be polemic because communist ideologues have took over the radio waves, the airwaves, the printed media, the government, the state departments, the fucking deep state, the education system. I mean, of course it's fucking polarizing because you're either a communist or you're not. That's what the actual dividing lines are between these groups. I keep telling everybody this. It's like what me and Sadwings talk about when he calls me a lefty tosser. It's like, yeah, because everybody that isn't a communist is their enemy. And there was a list of, there we go. Jade Rabbit's talking about. They had Russell Brand as right wing. If you don't know who Russell Brand is, he is a proper lefty fucking, well, again, just a typical lefty famous fucking dickhead. And now everyone's sort of got a grudging respect for him, even me. So I never liked the cunt at all. But you listen to him and you go, at least he's honest enough to say, oh yeah, this is what actually happened. They had Tulsi Gabbard as right wing. They had that Eric Weinstein as right wing. Eric Weinstein was a liberal arts professor at a liberal as fuck college in one of the most liberal states in America, in Oregon, where everybody there was a fucking purple-haired walkist. And he was left his entire life a proper lefty arsehole. And then because he said maybe we shouldn't exclude people from campus based on their colour, they chased him out. So now he's far right. Tulsi Gabbard, right wing. Lifelong left-wing politician, right wing. Russell Brand, lefty twat, right wing. If you can't see what's going on, I can't help you. I've done my best. I mean, I made a YouTube channel. Nobody watches it because Susan's a fucking sack of rats. But I'm doing my best. If you can't see what's happening, I don't know what I can do for you. But you best get with the program, even if you're centrist, anywhere near the middle, left wing, even if you're an old school lefty, they're fucking coming for you. It's not like this is a revelation from me. This is what's happened every single time communists get a sniff of power. And they are communists. They don't call themselves communists because it's an unpopular word, funny old thing. When you fucking murder a few 100 million people in the last 200 years, your ideology becomes a bit unpopular. So they don't call themselves it, but that is what they are. They are communists, walkists. I've told you guys, I hate all of the terms, Americans especially. They refuse to use the same dictionary as everybody else. They're communists. Someone that is woke is a communist. They're fucking commies. And communists don't segregate by colour or creed or sexuality or religion or anything else. Communists only care about one thing. One thing, they split you into two groups. Communist, not a communist. This is why Kanye West dared say something nice about Trump. He's not black anymore. Douglas Murray disagrees with communists. He's not gay anymore. Guess where they end up when the communists take over? The fucking gulag. And the woke scum. The ones who pretend to be woke at the top, like, I mean, the billionaires who quite clearly, because the billionaires are telling everyone they're woke, and then going into the ballot box and fucking going, Trump, yeah, he'll do. You know that's happening. There is no way that a bloke with $500 billion is fucking voting for the communists. There's no way. Jeremy Corbyn was like, oh, yeah, we should seize people's properties off them in London. If you've got more than one property, we'll just take it off you and fill it with refugees. Communist. It's a communist. That's a communist appropriating someone's property. If you think there's anybody within a 50-mile radius of London that has a second home and voted for Jeremy Corbyn, you're a fucking idiot. Is the polite way of putting it. There's a polite way of putting it. Yeah, thick cunt. There's a nice polite way of putting it. You're a thick cunt. So they don't care. They don't care about your colour, your creed, your sexuality, your opinions. Centre left, they'll have you in the gulag, fella. Second property, gulag. What do you think they did? The kulaks, the Holodomor. Just read a fucking book. So that's where you're going. You might be some fucking left-wing, cringing BBC reporter who thinks you're fucking woke. But if you've got, like all of them have, 2 or 3 houses, a holiday home in Dorset, you're going in the fucking gulag, fella. You can profess to be woke all you fucking like. They'll have your shit. So, yeah, I suggest you do what I do and reluctantly embrace the right-wing, Republican, old-school, conservative, centre-right, whatever you want to call them. Any people at all that promise to uphold the values of liberalism, which is freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of deed, freedom of action. And the fucking commies don't like any of that shit. So get with the program, lefties. I'm telling you. Follow me. I lead. I'm centre left on all the political compasses. Come with me. Hold your fucking nose and vote for Donald if you're in America, because the shit is going to hit the fan. UK, I think we're fucked in the UK. Like I said, I think you're seriously fucked in the UK. You're gonna get the woke commie. The commies are gonna win in the UK. 100%. The old school conservatives don't keep the nose to the grindstone. They're not clued in enough, and they're not all going to ditch the conservatives and go for whatever the new party that takes everybody's fancy, whether it's the SDP or the Reclaim or Reform or whatever. The old school conservatives aren't. They're not clued in enough. So for the next general election, you're seriously fucked. 25% of the conservatives' electorate is going to abandon them, and you're going to get a coalition of the communists. And you're going to get ready for the pain. You've got to get ready for the pain. It's going to be fucking bad in the UK for a few years. But it's their fault. And ultimately, it's our fault, isn't it? Because democracy works. It's like I've talked about. It's our fault if you're in America, because Biden did win. Even if you think, I can't talk about it because you get banned, if you even talk about data, numbers, maths, even if you think that there was some shenanigans, as Trump said, he needed to win decisively because we knew there was going to be some shenanigans. There has been in America for 40 fucking years. It's not like it's just now. So we get what we deserve. Democracy does work, and enough of the UK are woke or complicit, and enough of the US are woke or complicit. So we deserve it. That's the way the system works. Like I said, you know me, I'm a pragmatist. There's no point in crying about it. There's no point in whinging. We deserve it. The masses should have convincingly and resoundingly. Trump should have won by about 10 million votes. So we deserve it. We deserve what we're going through now, the humiliating defeat. And that's what it was, Sad Wings. I know it stings. America lost. We lost a war again. We lost a war against goat-herding fucking illiterates. All the boys who like going to Alan Snack Bar, we got humiliated, we got embarrassed. I went to Afghanistan fucking twice. I wasted my time. Although at least we were winning when I fucking left. So, hey, give me some... they must have noticed I went. As soon as I left, went, that little hard, hairy motherfucker's gone. And now it's party time. So we were winning when I left. Don't shoot the messenger. But we got humiliated and embarrassed in Afghanistan. Yes, we did. We lost. Big hard America, we fucking lost. Like a fucking whiny bunch of pussies. We deserve it. We deserve it. So, like I said, don't cry about it. Only a loser. What's this one off? Only losers whine about how things aren't fair. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Hats off to anybody who gets that in the next 10 seconds. Googling is cheating. Yeah, no point whining about it. What you do is what Sadwings does, and what I do is you fucking look after yourself and you stay in shape and you exercise and you save your money and you tool up as best you can and you prepare and you fill your fucking cellar with MREs and you do every preparation you can and you cackle amongst the flames, because eventually it'll get really, really bad and then there'll be a big fucking kickoff and then it'll get good again. And if you're unlucky, just like Frodo, it's Pippin who's whining on Lord of the Rings, isn't it? Why do I have to be living through this? Yeah, well, if you're lucky, for us, if you were lucky, you were born in about 1965. It's just been a party. If you're unlucky, born in about fucking 2005, because it's going to fucking kick off because the commies have got the bit between the teeth. Yes, it was The Rock. Loads of you's got it. And it was Sean Connery, Blue Van Man. That's why I went, winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Not the best impression. I'm not an impressionist. So fuck them. The Tories will not win the next gen. Sash, I'm telling you, not going to happen. Not going to happen. You got about 20%, me, of the people that voted Tory in the last election. About 20%, 15, 20% are not going to vote for them. Telling you. So you're going to get a fucking coalition of the commie. So yeah, you just got to suck it up, cackle amongst the flames, get on with your lives. Don't worry about it. And if they throw me off here, we can talk on Twitch. And then if they throw me off there, they'll always get an alternative. Will always appear. Capitalism works, and we'll just keep on cackling as the fucking world burns, because it's going to kick off. You don't get to have this and it not kick off. Our effete, weaselly, spineless, cringing, dullard elites as a result of the peace that we've had. We've been on the fumes from World War II for fucking 40 years. You need to kick off every now and then. We don't get to get out of this easily. You don't. Communists don't. It's like Saruman. Sauron. He does not share power. Commies don't share power, lads. We're not getting out of this with votes. It's not fucking happening. So strap yourselves in. Fuck them. Yeah, no sense whining about nothing being fair. Just fucking buckle up, batten down the hatches. Get used to drinking rain and eating fucking salted porridge and not much else, because it's fucking coming. Get used to your cricket toothpaste for your dinner, because it's fucking coming. They'll be in the fucking sky getting noshed off by an air hostess whilst eating a cheeseburger, and we'll be eating our cricket toothpaste. But it takes that discomfort to drive the masses to get back what's been taken from us, because you're not going to get it. This is what I was telling Simon Sideways and Free State and Sargon was in there. Everybody, you don't get peace without the war. And you can't motivate people to fight and risk safety and do what needs to be done while everybody's as comfortable as we are. And you can go off now about gas prices and heating prices. We're all too comfortable. So all we're going to do while it's this bad is complain a bit. We go, this is a bit shit. I've got less meat to eat. The Netflix connection's not quite as good. That it kicks off when you can't feed your children. It kicks off when you're freezing to death in your fucking house. There's a fucking famine. It kicks off when it kicks off. It took decades for the Soviet Union to fucking collapse. It's got to get 10 times worse before it gets better. So, yeah, batten down the fucking hatches. All right. Anyway, I didn't even do any fucking news. I just talked shit for 41 minutes. Sorry about that. You don't care, do you? You don't care. If you wanted serious news, you'd go and watch fucking, what's his name? I always forget his name. Who's the fucking black newsreader from when we were kids? Very nicely spoken. Totally gone. Grey hair, glasses, Was it Desmond? No. Maybe I'm thinking of Desmond fucking Tutu. Anyway, yeah, if you wanted proper news, go and watch someone who does proper news on YouTube. Trevor McDonald. That's it. Trevor McDonald. And now the 9 o'clock news. Yeah, go and watch someone like him. Not that you're going to get proper news off the BBC anymore, but there must be someone on YouTube that just does actual news and wears a suit. Yeah, fucking Trevor. Fuck off, Trevor. Remember back in the day, Trevor was actually sane. Fucking Trevor, put him in charge. We should resurrect Trevor wherever he's fucking locked up. Probably got him in the Tower of London. Dig Trevor up, put him back on the BBC. He made the current bunch of cunts positively look. He looked like a new savant compared to the lunatics who are in the BBC now. Anyway, does he still do the 10 o'clock news, Nick? Fucking hell. He must be getting on. He must be getting on a bit now. Right, I'm leaving. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do more news tomorrow, I promise. I'm just wound up after a whole weekend dealing with fucking bollocks. Right, see you all tomorrow. We'll do some news, I promise. See you later. And check out my subreddit. If you want to send me news stories and I'll motivate me to go and check it, check out the subreddit that I shared in the chat. Where's that? Oh no, I've just got a BBC one in there. All right, fuck yous. I'll show you tomorrow. See you later on.